Good evening, and welcome back to Auntie Kathy After Dark. I am so glad every time I get on here, I know my family will be here waiting to hear what we're going to talk about next. It's just a great feeling. So, without further ado, fam, let's get into it. So, I wanted to talk to you today about validation. Now, I think that validation gets a bad rap. We confuse validation with overcompensating, I think. Now, this is in my opinion, just in my opinion. People appreciate being noticed. People appreciate being recognized, especially when you've done something that is out of the norm or above and beyond what people assume you can do. Now, in my experience, I've found that when someone notices things that I have done that were good or helpful to others or just, kind of exceptional in the way that it was formatted or whatever, it makes me feel good. It makes me want to do more. It becomes a part of the encouragement to do more and to do better. Now, the definition of validation is the recognition and acceptance of another person's thoughts or feelings, of sensations, sometimes behaviors, and it's a way of communicating that to the other person's feelings, letting them know that they are valid and understandable. So, it is a part of the whole relationship building. I feel like when you've been seen by somebody, it kind of makes you feel like everything that you've done is worthwhile. When people pick up on your good energy and they notice a difference, you can't tell me that doesn't feel good. Who doesn't like to feel good about something they've done or something they're wearing, anything, just to feel good because someone noticed is really, really important. Now, when we talk about feelings, we talk about emotions. There are people who have emotions that haven't even been tapped because they've never been validated. The I guess what I want to say, not the art, but the ability to be able to accept that someone sees you for who you are and what you've done just makes you, it just makes you feel like it's worth it to continue on, to keep doing what you've been doing. When I first started school, there were a lot of, assumptions that I probably wouldn't be able to finish. People were surprised, to be quite honest. Like, oh, you're going back to school, you're 56, ooh, what are you going to school for? When I explained to people that I wanted to go into a field that I knew that I could use as a platform to help other people like myself who don't feel noticed, don't feel like people see them or get them, understand them. Understanding is such a huge part of society today on both sides of the fence. You have those people who just refuse to understand other people because that's just how they're made up. And then you have the other side of the coin where you have those people who they wake up just to do right and to do more. And on both sides of that coin, both sides need to be understood. And when those sides are not understood, that leads to confusion, and the confusion leads to chaos. It's like a trickle down. They say that, how they say, shit runs downhill. When you're at the top and you're not being validated, you're not being seen, you're not being understood, that just tears down everything you worked so hard for, and it just falls down the mountain of work you've done to build yourself up and to be this person that people see and understand. It's hard out here. Life is hard. Life is hard. And there are simple things that we can do in life that make it so it's not so hard and so difficult and depressing. I want to tell you that you're doing something right. And you should know that we see you. Everything from walking on the right side of the street to not jaywalking, because little things mean a lot. It may not mean anything to you right now, but it means something down the line. Everything that we do has purpose. Every purpose is a roadblock, a road map. All the things that we want to do in life, it starts from somewhere. It's very difficult to be able to build and grow when nobody understands you. You feel like you keep running into these brick walls. The brick wall is the lack of support. The brick wall is just that one word to let me know that everything that I'm working hard for is going to pay off. So tell somebody you're proud of them, even for a small thing. We don't take advantage of little moments, little things, because they really do add up to be something big. The smallest thing can change someone's life. A smile, a hello, a hug, just a nod can change someone's life, because you don't know what someone's going through. And to be able to let them know that they're recognized, one human to another, small things. They say it's the little things that mean so much. It's true. And in those small things, validation has a space. It wasn't until I got to school and started doing, all the projects and talking and learning that I guess the right people were seeing what I was trying to do. They see my direction. And that just encouraged me to go harder and harder and harder. I want the brass ring. I do. Because somebody walked up to me and said, you know what? After all the stuff that you've gone through and you're still here, I think that you're amazing. And that made me feel like I could do anything. The fact that someone says, go get your education, Kathy, make some moves, be happy, break the mold, that for me is power. That validation is power. They say knowledge is power. It is. But validation is power too. Just telling someone that they're doing a good job. will make that person go even harder. And isn't that what we really we aspire to do, is to go harder, go to the next level, take the next step, jump the next jump, whatever it is. We're always we want to do more. We want to do better. I know for myself that that little piece is important for me to be able to do the things that I want to do in my life. Not just for myself, but for anybody. And when someone tells me that they see that I'm working hard to make my dreams come true, it makes me feel like $1,000,000. And because I know how that makes me feel, I want to give that same energy to other people. And, you know, sharing is caring. You have to give if you want to get back. And by validating somebody for doing their best, it's important. You know, validation opens the lines of communication. You know, you boost someone's self-esteem. It opens them up. They want to have a conversation. You tell me that's not an amazing thing? You know, validation, it can be the difference between conflict resolution, okay? Reducing conflict by acknowledging somebody else's perspective. You know, you don't even have to agree with them, but the fact that you acknowledge that they have another perspective, and if that's okay, it means something. You know, it does. And, you know, we learn from one another. You know, I pick up things from other people all the time. I'm a sponge. But it validation also, you know, it promotes emotional intelligence. You know, you become more aware and accepting of your own emotions and other people's emotions. You know, it's helping to support mental health. Who would have thought? By telling somebody they're doing a great job, how that would be therapeutic for somebody's mental health. But all these little things, all these little nuances are a part of what we need to be great people, great human beings. You know, it's what's going to catapult us from where we are to where we need to be. It helps foster, you know, positive environment at work. Let's say at work. You and 3 of your co-workers are working on similar projects. You walk past one of your co-workers and you see some of the work that they're doing, and you tell them what an amazing job they're doing. Or you ask them questions about what they're doing to hear their perspective. It helps with positivity. It helps with productivity. You know, it teaches empathy. You know, any of you who know about being empath and understanding other people's emotions, you know, it just validating helps us understand other people's capacity to be empathetic. It's almost like lead by example. Exactly. Lead by example. You know, but like I said, you know, I wanted to come to you guys today because it's important for it to be said out loud. You know, that validating a person doesn't mean agreeing with someone, but rather understanding and acknowledging their feelings and experiences as real and important. And I think at the end of the day, mutually, I think that's what we all want, and that's what we all need. and we can do that. So until our next podcast, I love you guys. I think you're awesome. I want you to come back and I want you to hear more. And if you have suggestions, please feel free to send those in. Until I